Hey everybody, so today we're out in the backyard. We're working on a little construction project. Not sure if people like those videos or not, but here it goes. So behind me is our outdoor seating area in the back. We have a deck, but it is blisteringly hot there in the summer, and so you pretty much can't use it. So we made this patio structure out in the backyard where there's some shade. So it's actually pretty nice to sit out here. So we had a donated structure that was given to us that had been partially snow damaged from ice loads, etc. before, and we had tried it at the beach house on a deck and ended up bringing it back here and putting it on this structure. And we had a surprise snowstorm, early snowstorm last year that we knew was coming. We were out of town. I wasn't expecting it to be that early. Thought we could get back soon enough I could just knock the snow off the canopy part of it. But it came earlier and we did not get back in time, and it was really wet and heavy and it crushed it. So I'll put a couple pictures in there. But I decided instead of pre-purchasing something, we will just, we'll build something. I've started by digging some holes around the perimeter, and right now I'm gonna actually go ahead and set the first post. As you might be able to hear, it's July 4th, so we're gonna be having fireworks soon. I dug a hole, put some gravel in the bottom, set this post in some concrete, so it's not locked in yet. I have this post level and have it leveled. What I need to do now is I want to try to get it square to the slab. So what I've come up with, I have a drywall square, and this post actually really isn't even square, if you can see that. So I'm going to use this edge. Hi, Scout. Drywall square, I'm going to use this edge. I'm going to measure to the edge of my pavers. So that's like, we're about 2 1/4. Then I'm going to down this way, excuse me, do the same thing. We're about 2 3/4. Double check that. So at this end, I don't know what I was thinking before, but we're almost 3 inches. And down here we are close enough that I'm going to call that square. So I have this post set. I'll pour some water in there, keep it plumb, and then we'll base all the rest of them and where the spacing ends up off of this one, because I don't really have a plan for this. Posts are going to end up where they end up, and I'll adapt to it from there. The first post is cemented in. Now we're going to go for the second. I'm about 20 inches deep. It's about all deeper I could dig. Gonna add some gravel to the bottom. We're gonna drop the post in. So did I mention there's a city park across, there's a lake behind us, and there's a park there, and they have summertime events, and of course being Independence Day they're having events tonight, and that's what all that music is. So what I've done, I've got the post in the hole, and I'm using this drywall square to try to square it up with the slab or with the pavers, and I've measured from the edge, and I'm looking down as close to plumb as I can get. And I'm making this the same on both sides. So right now I think we're pretty good. As long as we can get these two posts somewhat square and not offset to the slab, the other one should be easy. I have some gravel in the bottom of the hole. I'm going to cement them in or concrete them in the lazy way. So my post for the other end of the structure I've had laying out here in the backyard for quite some time. I think some equipment came in on it at work and I grabbed them. So there's like holes and splits, and so it's not the best. They're also 16 feet long. So I'm going to cut this down to something a little more manageable, to about 10 feet. I've already got an eyeball where it needs to be. So it's the next day. I have 3 of the 4 posts pretty firmly in the ground, and they're all measuring pretty parallel to each other. So, and plumb with a long level, so I'm happy with that. Now for the most difficult one, the 4th one, because it has to line up with at least 2 other ones. So let me find a good vantage point and we'll figure out how to get this thing in the ground. So we're back at our backyard structure after a couple weeks off. I decided to add a post to the middle of the span. That 15 feet seemed like an awful lot. So we put one in the middle and I'll split that up. So now I'm in the process, since they're all not the same height, I'm in the process of getting the posts all cut to height. I can't really go from the slab level because it slopes down to let water run off and kind of into the woods direction. So I've already taken this post here, established my 100 inches at the very top, and I need to go around and make all the rest of them level. So that's what we're going to do next. So I have this piece of aluminum tubing that I'm using as a straight edge, a level extension with the level on top. I'll try to see if I have enough height to make the top of each one of these posts 100 inches. Not sure I'm going to, so I'm going to go around and mark first. All right, so that's clamped on the line at the other end at 100 inches, and this post based on that might be too short, but the way I'm going to, we've got about a 1/2 inch clearance here, but I'm going to rabbet in the 2x8s around here so you'll never see that. So I think if that's our worst case, we'll maintain that height, but I'm not sure. We got a post on the other side. We'll have to see how it turns out. So that's going to be the top cross piece plate, whatever, on this side. I've measured everything else and run the level. And I think that elevation will work. I just wanted to get an idea what it was going to look like. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start one by one notching all these posts. I'm going to let in, I think, half the thickness of the board to let it support, to make it look a little more massive, since it's only a 2x8. So I'll take that down and get started. Okay, so I decided I'm just going to do this post and then do the other one on the end and work my way around from there. I've marked out where I need to cut, and I'm going to cut this 3/4 inch deep on two sides and down, so the board will kind of nest half in there and give it some definition. It'll rest on half of that, and then it'll be bolted through there. I've set my saw blade to 3/4 of an inch, so I'll make my score lines around, and then I'll set it deeper and come back and cut the depth it'll cut, and then I'll have to do the rest with the Sawzall by hand. Here goes. Hold your ears. More of a combination blade. I'm going to look for, see if I have more of a wood cutting blade. I did not have a better blade, so I'll just power through it, and I will definitely get a better blade for tomorrow. So anyway, that's the dog peeing. This doesn't have to be perfect, just cleaned up a little bit. Okay, that's clamped up there in the notch. That's clamped up there, and I'm got the level on it, and it looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that, and then I'll do that side. Go ahead and notch that side out. So I got this post cut, but as usual, I went to start the generator. Nothing's ever easy, right? So it pulled really hard, and I can kind of smell gas. So I think, and then the handle pulled off. So I think what happened is the float stuck and filled the cylinder with gasoline, and so now it's hydraulic. So there's one more thing to fix. But to at least have some success today, I'm going to work on getting this piece of wood cut to the correct length, and we'll get it at least bolted up there for today. This thing's up here and centered and marked where I want the bolt holes. I'm going to put these lag bolts through it. So we don't come out at an odd angle. I'm going to try to square it up. little update. Don't remember where we left off, but I have the rim joist, or whatever you want to call it, all the way around to right there. So I have just this side to go, and I've already notched that post at the top. Cooper! Let me go ahead and square the end of this off, and I'll take it up there and mark it to length. Need to clear a little bit of that with a chisel to get the fit I want. All right, 3/4 of an inch is what I wanted. Okay, now I'll repeat the process on the other end and on the other board.